Hi, it's Wednesday, February 26th. I'm Jeremy Shea, the producer of Gavel, Alaska. I mentioned a few weeks ago that I was trying to put together a Forum at 360 show on education issues. Senator Berger Gardner and Senator Dunleavy, who are on opposite sides of one of the key issues, the constitutional amendment to lift a ban on spending public money on private and religious schools. Said they were both interested at one point in participating in a panel talk. Having a hard time getting their schedules to line up, and Dunleavy staffer gave me a call the other day saying he didn't want to do it anymore. So today I invited Representative Lynn Gaddis, and we'll see if she's game. Hopefully that comes together. Other news today, we didn't have any technical issues today. Hooray! Let's get on to the rundown for Thursday, February 27th on Gavel, Alaska. Our live coverage will start at 9 a.m. with the Senate Finance Committee, which is talking about the proposed gas pipeline. Not live on TV, but live on the web, and also at 9 a.m. we're covering the Senate State Affairs Committee. They've got three bills. They've got SB 98 by Senator Donnie Olson. It's a bill to let village public safety officers carry firearms while on duty. Companion bill to Representative Bryce Edgman's VPSO bill. Senator Olson is a Democrat who caucuses with the Republican majority, and he's from Gavel. State Affairs also has SB 141 by Senator Bill Wielechowski. He's an Anchorage Democrat. SB 141 it's a military perk for current members of the Alaska National Guard. It lets them register one car for free with the DMV. I don't think I've re-registered for a while, but I think a typical registration fee is something like $200 once every 2 years, something like that. And finally, Senate State Affairs has SJR 18 by Senator Fred Dyson. He's a Republican from Eagle River. And I think Representative Wes Keller has very similar legislation in the House. SJR 18 tries to get a convention of the states together to amend the U.S. Constitution to, quote, impose fiscal restraints on the federal government, limit the power and jurisdiction of the federal government, and limit the terms of office of federal government officials, end quote. At 11, the House Republicans hold their weekly press availability. At noon, the Legislative Council is meeting. The Legislative Council, it's not a typical legislative committee. It doesn't vet bills. It's more like the governing board or board of directors for a nonprofit or corporation with an executive director or CEO. So basically, the Legislative Council is the boss of the executive director of the Legislative Affairs Agency. And that person is in turn the boss of all legislative support offices, like the Capitol Building maintenance folks, the legislature's IT folks, all the AKL.TV people who run those streams, legislative research, legislative legal department, and other support offices. The Leg Council members come from both the House and the Senate. The Legislative Council has hiring and firing authority of the head of the Legislative Affairs Agency. It sets some internal policies for the legislative branch of state government, and it handles the legislative branch's budget, building space, etc. Thursday, there's some housekeeping stuff on their agenda, but the two things that I think will be interesting is the legislature's budget, and then whatever comes out after a closed session on some of the legislature's building space here in Juneau, and the Anchorage Legislative Information Office. There was a lot of good reporting done over the interim about, a lot of it was focused on the cost of the new Anchorage LIO. I think one headline said it was something like 3 times the rent of the old place they had. So that's on their agenda too. There's several afternoon meetings that were canceled, but we're covering a 1:30 House Finance meeting, a couple of bills I haven't read up on yet. At 3 p.m., House Health and Social Services has Representative Lynn Gaddis' HB 281. Gaddis is a Wasilla Republican. HB 281 has, it's been in this committee before. This is the one that she's selling as a way to facilitate telemedicine. The bill would let doctors prescribe drugs without doing a physical exam. HB 250 is by Soldotna Republican Representative Kurt Olson. It deals with medical malpractice cases. Basically, it makes apologies inadmissible in medical malpractice court cases and requires medical providers tell patients to get legal advice before getting a procedure done. The last meeting we're planning to cover is a House Finance Subcommittee on the Department of Education's budget. That's at 5 p.m. The subcommittee is scheduled to close out its budget. Okay, that's the plan. Thanks for watching. See you next time.